Walter White never imagined that his life would spiral so rapidly out of control when he first chose to step away from conventional morality. As a high school chemistry teacher turned methamphetamine manufacturer, his story unfolds in ways that mirror the bleak philosophical discussions of Arthur Schopenhauer. Schopenhauer, a 19th-century philosopher, is renowned for his rather gloomy perspective on life. He viewed human existence as driven by an insatiable will, a voracious appetite for desire, survival, and struggle that seldom leads to happiness. How fitting, then, that the narrative of Breaking Bad accentuates these very themes. In the beginning, Walter White epitomizes an everyman struggling under the burdens of modern life, crippling medical expenses, a job that barely pays the bills, and a family dependent on his meager income. Yet when diagnosed with terminal lung cancer, Walter's latent will to power emerges. Faced with the insignificance of his own mortality, he embarks on a reckless quest not just to support his family financially, but to assert control and find meaning through the dominance of his newfound alter ego, Heisenberg. Schopenhauer posited that human beings are constantly wrestling with an inner turmoil that stems from desires that can never be completely satisfied. Walter's journey is deeply illustrative of this. As he achieves one goal, eliminating rival drug lords, amassing wealth beyond his needs, he finds himself driven only to reach for more. Personal satisfaction seems forever out of reach, mimicking Schopenhauer's notion that true fulfillment is evasive and, quite possibly, an illusion. Alongside Walter's narrative are characters who, much like Schopenhauer believed, seem damned by their own pursuit of desires. Skylar White, Walter's wife, wrestles with the moral conflict of money earned through crime versus the well-being of her family. Jesse Pinkman, Walter's often reluctant partner, exemplifies the broken individual, ruined by choices fueled by immediate wants, struggling with guilt and addiction. Even the transformation of Walter White involves the metamorphosis Schopenhauer would have understood, a descent into a deeper, darker will that knows no bounds. As moral decisions become murky under the guise of necessity, Walter's willpower swells in its greed and ambition, ultimately punishing himself and those around him. Schopenhauer suggested that a way to transcend the relentless appetite for desire was through art and aesthetic experience, whereby one might briefly lose themselves outside personal wants. In Breaking Bad, moments of irony and tragedy force both the characters and the audience to reflect on broader existential themes, offering transient escapism much like the art Schopenhauer championed. As Walter White's saga concludes, it becomes clear that fulfillment through power, control, or material wealth is a hollow pursuit, a direct reflection of Schopenhauer's belief that the human condition is one of constant struggle, rarely ever leading to genuine happiness. Breaking Bad thus serves not only as an engaging crime drama, but also as a parable aligned with Schopenhauer's philosophy. It portrays a dark vision of human nature driven by desires that inevitably lead to downfall, proving that the philosopher's cynicism regarding the human experience can be startlingly relevant to modern storytelling.